contract that you sign when you move into the dorms, and they're like, by the way, you can only have fish here. That's right, no lizards, no snakes, no dogs, no cats, just fish. And you're like, okay, and they're like, but also no dogs named Fish. We know about that loophole. Well, Helen and Julia's neighbor owned snakes. Venomous snakes. Illegally obtained venomous snakes. So I went and I got the RA, and she called animal control. But by the time we'd gotten back, Sherlock had somehow gotten the snake out of the vent and into a pillowcase without getting bit herself. I am not entirely certain how she did that. Animal control came and identified the snake. I think they said it was from somewhere in India, and it did turn out to be the snake that had bitten Julia. So they were like, well, it's a hemotoxin, so she was actually really lucky because that's a slow-acting venom, and she ended up having a much longer time than she would have had if it was a snake with a faster-acting venom. So they gave her the right anti-venom, and she woke up, and she's doing really good, though she could lose parts of her hand because of the damage that the venom did to her. Helen and Julia's neighbor was named Roy, and he had a single, and he shared their wall. Okay. Anyway, he had a single, and Sherlock told Animal Control to go over and check his room. Animal Control went in there, and first they were like, oh, there's nothing here, but then they realized there was like all these Tupperware containers, and they all had snakes in them, and then they opened up all the drawers, and there were snakes in the drawers, and there were snakes in the cabinets, and there were snakes in the closet, and there was snakes everywhere!
There were 58 in total.
It turned out that this guy was into like trading snakes on the internet, and he would go into the parks near school and he would get these venomous snakes and he would breed them, and then he would go on the internet and be like, hey, guy in India with a venomous snake, do you want a venomous snake from Georgia? Cool, cool, and they would swap the snakes. And I thought that your pen trading obsession was a bit much, Hannah. Anyway, campus police confiscated all the guy's snakes, and they also found all these records that he kept of all other people that he had sent snakes to, and so now they're going to go after all of those guys as well. Most of his snakes are going to zoos, but the one in particular that bit Julia is going to a center that produces anti-venom. So yeah. Did I miss anything?
A few details. When Julia mentioned the speckled band, she was of course referring to the snake itself. You may have noticed it had spots on it, but perhaps you were too busy screaming. I figured someone was illegally hoarding snakes in the dorm, and when we saw the snake in that vent, I knew it must be the neighbor who shared that wall. All the vents in the dorms are connected. You may have noticed in our own bathroom that you can hear the people who live on the other side. I did not expect 58 snakes, though. That was a surprise.
So you figured that there was a person hoarding illegal venomous snakes, and you didn't tell me.
Seemed obvious. I didn't feel the need to share.
Someday, Sherlock Holmes, I will practice really, really hard, and I will become very good at deduction, and then I will figure something out before you figure it out, and then you will feel exactly as I feel in this moment.
Doubtful. Though I encourage practicing deduction, you will never be as good as me.
Oh really? I thought it was all about the practice.
Mostly yes, but some of it must be genetic. My sister Myra possesses even better powers than my own.
Now you're just being modest.
Underestimating oneself is even worse than exaggerating. Myra is much better at deduction, I promise. She's just too lazy to use it.
Then where is this mysterious sister? Is she younger than you? Does she live with your parents? Where even do your parents live? What?
She is 7 years older than me, and she lives in D.C.
Washington, D.C.
What other D.C. is there?
And is she a detective, like you, or what?
No, I'm telling you, she is too lazy. If Myra could be a detective from the safety of her couch, she would, but she can't, and she doesn't care. She gets things right all the time, but she doesn't bother to prove them, which is a hassle in court. She helps me sometimes, though.
So what does she do?
Whatever she feels like that day. She holds a minor or major position in the government.
And we're not going to talk about how you didn't tell me that you have a sister who's the same age as my sister.
It didn't come up.
A lot of things don't come up with you.
For good reason.
I'm sorry, Hannah. I have to go. I have to strangle my roommate, and then I have a date to get ready for. I will talk to you later.